Google Gemini's Student Hub shows why content teams need audience-specific knowledge hubs. Google gave students their own doorway into Gemini. E-commerce teams should pay attention. The most interesting part of Google's Gemini Student Hub is the doorway. On June 17, 2025, Google announced a dedicated area inside Gemini for college students in the United States who are at least 18, giving that audience a starting point built around its work, rather than sending every user through the same general-purpose interface. The Verge covered the announcement. Google's launch offer included access to Google AI Pro for eligible students, with availability depending on location and the stated sign-up window. Those conditions matter. A student outside the United States may see a different experience, and so can someone who misses the eligibility requirements. The Student Hub gives college students a study-specific route into Gemini. Google described access to tools including guided learning, which supports step-by-step explanations, as well as deep research and Notebook LM for eligible users. The confirmed product direction is clear. Gemini is being organized around a recognizable audience and a recognizable set of tasks. Picture a student facing a statistics assignment before an exam. They need a plain language explanation of standard deviation, plus a study plan they can check against class materials. A general AI homepage can handle the request. But a Student Hub tells the user where this kind of work belongs before the first prompt is typed. That small change has a large implication for e-commerce content. When visitors arrive with a specific job, the best experience guides them through the information, rather than presenting a scattered set of articles and a polite invitation to browse. Searchers rarely want a scattered set of articles. Why students receive their own path through Gemini. Students move quickly, then slowly. A vague assignment becomes a request for an explanation. Then comes a search for credible material, and a study plan or source review. That sequence needs a home. Audience context reduces the work required to reach a useful answer. The same product question carries different intent for different people. A college student asking about a laptop may care about note-taking, battery life during a long campus day, and software used in class. A developer asking about the same laptop is more likely to care about operating system support and memory. Limits. Especially how well it fits a coding setup. The product may be identical, the useful explanation is not. A student-focused route can favor plain language and campus portability while keeping academic use responsible. A developer-focused route can move quickly toward technical requirements. E-commerce teams often organize resource centers around their catalog because that's how the business sees its products. Shoppers arrive with a situation in mind. Generic hubs frequently group content by category, even when the visitor is trying to prepare for a campus. Commute. Furnish a small apartment or pack for a client presentation in one anonymized backpack audit. The existing hub began with backpacks, followed by separate posts about laptop sleeves, travel bags, and bag capacity. The afterstate started with 2 task routes: carry a laptop across campus and move quickly through airport security. The first route linked laptop protection, textbook capacity, comfort evidence, and student-oriented backpack comparisons. The second linked checkpoint access, tablet storage, and business travel models. The decision criterion was not keyword volume alone. Each page had to answer a question that changed which backpack a visitor would choose. Consider a backpack brand serving 2 audiences. College students need guidance on laptop protection while walking between classes, along with enough room for textbooks and all-day comfort. Business travelers need help with airport security and quick access to a tablet. The backpack category overlaps, while the decisions around it do not. Google's Student Hub gives Gemini a cleaner set of relationships to interpret. The audience is defined. The work is recognizable, and follow-up prompts stay within the same context. A store can create the same clarity by connecting educational content around a customer's reason for visiting, from a question to the next useful action. A student journey usually narrows over time. Someone may begin by choosing a research topic. Then they look for credible material. Eventually, they need help organizing the result. A useful hub reflects that progression through connected pages rather than a shelf of unrelated titles. Guided paths connect a shopper's question with the next useful action. The opening page defines the task. A supporting page supplies the knowledge needed first, then comes the next page. And it helps the visitor act on that knowledge, whether that means comparing products or checking requirements. Google's helpful content guidance tells publishers to create material for a specific intended audience and make the reader's experience central. Experience the primary purpose. That principle applies to product discovery as much as it applies to study guidance. Take a store selling scientific calculators. A student may begin with a broad question about which calculator fits a statistics course. Before comparing two models, that shopper needs a clear explanation of statistical functions and display formats. Written for coursework rather than for an engineer evaluating technical hardware. A flat resource library exposes article titles and leaves the visitor to assemble the route. A guided path starts with the immediate task, removes the next point of confusion, and then moves toward a comparison or buying decision. The difference lives in the links between pages. In a calculator audit, the before state had a category guide, 6 accurate feature articles, and no links between the memory article and the approved model comparison. The revised hub used this sequence: Statistics Course Orientation Guide, Statistical Functions Explainer, Approved Calculator Comparison, Model Detail Page. The observed failure was adjacency, not factual accuracy. Readers reached the feature article from search, but stopped because the page did not explain why the feature affected their course decision. In the audits we run, weak hubs often contain strong articles with poor adjacency. Readers can find an individual page through search, yet the site gives them no clear reason to continue. Someone reading about calculator display types may still have no way to find the comparison for an introductory statistics class. Use one test for every content item. Record the answers in a simple worksheet. Question: what to record, who is this for, name the audience, and shopping situation. What job are they doing? State the decision or task in plain language. What must they know first? Identify the fact that removes the next point of confusion. What should follow? Link to the next guide. Comparison or product page. That worksheet exposes orphaned content quickly. A page about calculator memory may be accurate, but it needs a role in the student's route, such as supporting a comparison between 2 approved models. Without that connection, the article creates another destination instead of helping the shopper make progress. An audience label cannot rescue generic content. The Student Hub creates a useful test. It checks audience-specific publishing, but the information must change. The audience has a different job to complete. And a student-facing heading, paired with advice written for every Gemini visitor, gives the experience a new sign, while leaving the underlying problem untouched. A page called Student Laptop Guide should help someone compare a machine with the demands of campus life. But not just any machine. A laptop retailer that discusses processor speed and discounts while ignoring software compatibility has built a themed landing page rather than a useful buying path. Repair access and weight should shape the guidance. The page needs evidence. It should help a student decide. It also needs student-focused language woven throughout the copy, so the advice feels made for them. Trust creates another pressure point. Academic users need to see where an explanation comes from, where the system has limits, and how to verify a claim before using it in coursework or a purchase decision. A polished paragraph still needs source links and plain statements about uncertainty, because style alone won't carry the load. A careful store owner would inspect every audience-specific page for evidence before celebrating its launch. A guide about laptops for engineering students could link to manufacturer operating system requirements and explain when a lower-cost model may struggle with specialized software. That gives the reader a way to check the recommendation instead of accepting it on faith. And that matters. Access can break the experience before the useful material appears. If a hub requires a school account, limits participation by geography, or sends visitors through another sign-in, the audience splits between people who reach the guidance and people who leave. Store teams should provide a public version of essential buying information when eligibility rules block entry. Audience fit also changes over time. A student who graduates still needs a route to the full laptop catalog, along with warranty information and repair policy. A temporary label shouldn't become a permanent dead end. What store owners should measure? Measure progress through the customer's task rather than visits alone. Focused hubs live or die on usefulness. Did the audience get guidance? Did they keep moving toward a decision? Track entry into the hub. Track movement to the next decision page. Track meaningful product interaction. For a skincare store, the path might begin with ingredient education for first-time acne care shoppers. Then comes a routine builder, a product page where the shopper checks usage instructions and skin type guidance. Each step says more than raw traffic, because it shows whether the content reduced uncertainty. The comparison needs consistent rules. Run the focused hub beside the existing resource center using the same attribution window and audience definition. Keep the purchase event consistent too. Don't change the measurement rules halfway through. That can make a weak path look successful. One skincare implementation exposed a practical failure. The routine builder was technically the next step, but its link appeared only below a long ingredient explainer. Visitors who entered through acne routine for dry skin often backtracked to search instead. Moving the routine builder link beside the first recommendation and adding usage guidance to the product comparison made the intended route visible. The decision criteria were next step rate, reformulated on-site searches, and support questions about compatibility, not page views alone. Failure signals deserve equal attention. Repeated backtracking suggests that a visitor missed an important explanation or link. Search reformulation can expose wording problems. An exit after the first educational page may point to a gap between the promised task and the available next step. Pair analytics with the language customers already use. Support tickets may contain phrases such as, "Can I use this with sensitive skin?" while on-site search reveals, "Acne routine for dry skin." Those words often produce better headings than an internal category called targeted treatments. Most stores begin by watching traffic to each URL. But that's not enough. A stronger test asks whether a visitor reached the next decision with fewer dead ends. A smaller hub that moves shoppers forward usually teaches the team more than a large archive with high view counts. Give the measurement plan a fixed review point after enough visitors have completed the same task. Compare movement by audience definition and entry source. Then inspect recordings or support language for sessions that stalled by device type. Change one part of the path at a time so the result remains readable. The larger change is how knowledge gets organized. Google's Student Hub points toward knowledge organized around audience tasks. The useful unit becomes a connected path. Evidence supports guidance. Guidance leads to a decision. For e-commerce teams, a focused experience can be built around one need, not a loose collection of related articles. A student filter inside an existing catalog changes retrieval. A dedicated hub changes the order. It changes the relationship of information around the shopper's problem too. Someone seeking a laptop for campus work might need software requirements first, then portability guidance. Then models that fit a budget, followed by a clear route to availability and support. To learn more, visit heysprite.com today.